Welcome to Coyote News. The USD and state rivalry was renewed last week. We're bringing you the highlights of the Coyotes' domination.
Also, how those who are single prefer to spend Valentine's Day and the worst Valentine's Day moments ever.
And more than 200 people participated in Relay for Life. We have details, but first, the headlines.
Treasury Secretary Timothy Geithner says the president's new spending plan would impose new taxes on only 2% of the nation's wealthiest families. Speaking before a congressional committee yesterday, Geithner says the alternatives to the president's $3.8 trillion plan would be to seek more painful cuts in other government programs, including defense, Social Security, and Medicare. Republican Senator Orrin Hatch of Utah says the administration's spending plan would give the country a permanently larger European-inspired government. But Geithner says deeper spending cuts now would damage economic growth when the nation is still struggling to recover from a deep recession. A fire started by an inmate tore through an aging and overcrowded Honduran prison, burning and suffocating inmates in their locked cells. The more than 350 dead make this one of the world's deadliest prison fires in a century. The local government told reporters that an inmate called her moments before the fire and said he was going to set the facility on fire and kill everyone inside. Authorities arrested 17 students in a sweeping drug sting at Texas Christian University today. 4 members of the Horned Frogs football team are accused of selling marijuana to undercover officers during the season and as recently as a few weeks ago. Police say the 17 people arrested were caught making hand-to-hand sales of marijuana, cocaine, ecstasy, and prescription drugs to undercover officers. The bust followed a 6-month investigation prompted by complaints from students and parents, among others. And those are your headlines.
Thanks, Lene. Both USD basketball teams defeated in-state rival South Dakota State at the Dakota Dome. The men defeated the Jackrabbits Thursday 72-68. On Monday night, the Lady Coyotes followed in the men's footsteps, beating SDSU in overtime 59-53. SDSU came into the game leading the Summit League with a 13-2 record. The Yotes were led by senior Amber Heggie, who had a game high of 28 points. Heggie finished 10 of 22 from the field and was 4 of 6 from the three-point mark. USD led 17-16 with 5 minutes left in the first half, when SDSU went on a 15-4 run and led 31-21 at the half. With just over 2 minutes left to play, the Coyotes went on a 9-0 run to force an overtime. After that, it was all USD as the Yotes took a 54-51 lead on a Heggie three-pointer. The win was one of the biggest for USD since the move to Division I. USD women take their 8-game winning streak on the road against IUPUI on Saturday. USD is one of the nation's best value undergraduate institutions. That's according to the Princeton Review. It features USD in its Best Value Colleges 2012 edition. The review profiles over 150 colleges for their excellence in academics, generous financial aid packages, and providing relatively low attendance costs to its students. USD is the only South Dakota institution to be named the Best Value Colleges for the list of 2012.
South Dakota college students wanting to take extra classes narrowly avoided a tuition increase for next year. Senate Bill 79 would have required students to pay a different tuition rate for credits beyond those required for their program. Using the current rates, in-state residents would have seen their tuition for extra classes go up by $37 per credit. Associate Provost Kurt Hackmer says bills like this are sometimes the result of misconceptions about college students.
Bills like this are passed because, or are considered because of a few case studies that a sponsor may have heard about. And my impression in general is that most students aren't taking an excessive number of credits. Certainly maybe a few extra credits, but not on the order of some percentage over the number required for a degree.
The Senate committee voted 4-3 to push the tuition measure to the 41st legislative day, effectively killing the bill. The 89th annual stroller show is taking place Friday and Saturday night. 4 casts will battle for first place. Each cast is comprised of 1 sorority and 2 fraternity houses. Performances are 15 minutes long and feature singing, dancing, and acting. The cast will be judged on their plotline and theme, their creativity, and their backdrops. The Strollers are the oldest student organization on campus. Tickets for Friday or Saturday shows are on sale at the Muck.
Up next, John Hines details some pretty bold opinions in this week's Coyote blog.
24 USD athletes are being honored for their academic success. In order to be an academic All-Summit League Distinguished Scholar, a student athlete must use a year of eligibility and still maintain a 3.6 grade point average. Women's cross country led the way for USD with 10 runners selected. The soccer team followed with 7. Sophomore cross country runner Jeff Metler was one of 5 men's cross country players to be named.
I think the great thing about USD is that we're able to compete against the best. We're Division I, but at the same time we're getting a great education. I don't know that a lot of the larger schools, the athletes at larger schools can say that when they're done competing they're going to be able to go out and get a good job.
11 Coyote athletes received perfect 4.0s during the fall semester, and in the fall semester 47 USD athletes made the Fall Academic All-Summit League team. March 2nd is Read Across America Day, and the Pi Beta Phi sorority is doing what they can to help fight illiteracy in preparation for the big day. Every Tuesday in February, members of Pi Beta Phi are going to Jolly Elementary School and take part in activities that encourage the 3rd grade class to read and write. On March 2nd, a birthday party will be held for Dr. Seuss, and even the Cat in the Hat is expected to make an appearance. On this week's Yote Report, Scott Cook explains the campus connection between gorillas and Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day. It's about love, relationships, and expressing feelings towards that special someone. The Anthropology Program Enthusiast Society is helping students communicate those feelings.
Bananagrams, we started doing it last year, but it was a revitalization of an old idea from about 10 years ago when APES, the Anthropology Program Enthusiast Society, was first starting. And so we just started to pick it up. You know, we were thinking it's a really, really fun way to kind of get our name out there and have a cute idea that's really cheap and affordable for college students to get a Valentine's Day gift.
I could have bought a bananagram for someone who means something to me, but everyone does that. So I took the road less traveled. I got one for the Coyote News Advisor, Todd Meckling. This wasn't for anybody special, so we went with the dollar package.
There's 5, 2, and a $1 package. $5 for a gorilla reciting a poem and a card. The $2 is a card and a poem, and then $1 is just a poem.
I got it from my boyfriend because he sent me one last year and embarrassed me in front of my microbiology class, so I decided to get him one in revenge.
Sometimes the really, really happy and excited look on people's faces as they receive one, but more times than not, just the sheer devastation and embarrassment of being in front of 50 people and having a poem recited to you by some mascot.
And there, when needed, you're truly blessed.
This year was a successful Bananagrams. We made nearly $300, just about tripling what we put into it. We've made enough money to possibly plan another event for the year and to give a lot more to the organization, Friends of Queen Anne's Revenge, the charity for which we've been raising money all year. So I thank USD's campus.
This is Scott Cook going bananas for the Yote Report.
For years, Relay for Life has been raising awareness and funds for those affected by cancer. The Relay participants walking into the Dome Sunday were a reminder the event is not just about raising money. Organizers say it's a time to celebrate success, remember loved ones, and fight back against cancer.
I relay for my family personally. My mom has had 3 sisters, and all 3 of them had cancer. 2 of them have passed away from cancer.
Luminaries lined the track so walkers could recognize the member, those who have or have had cancer.
When I see people who are brand new to Relay come in and they find that place, that hope that they're looking for.
More than 200 people participated. The money they raised supports cancer research, education, and patient services. In this week's Coyote blog, John Hines explains why a dog isn't a man's best friend.
Vermilion has a pet problem. Not only do stray cats have free reign over most of Vermilion's streets, but dogs and cats with regular homes and owners are also roaming free. If people can't take care of a pet, then they shouldn't have one. All too often, pets get lost or run away from their owners, becoming a nuisance for the community. Even worse is when one of these pets remain unneutered and increase the number of strays wandering around. These strays carry disease, tear up trash bags, and wind up as roadkill. As many people clearly don't know, Vermilion actually limits how many pets a person can legally keep in a residence. According to city ordinance, no household can keep more than 3 pets without a permit. Though it doesn't seem to be policed, the spirit of the ordinance remains intact. People shouldn't keep more pets than they are able to care for. In some cases, people shouldn't keep 1 pet, let alone 3. So do the right thing for everyone. If you want a pet, take care of it. If you can't take care of it, then you're better off without one. For Coyote Blog, I'm John Hines.
Thanks, John. Coming up, details on flash mobs at the Muck and Greek House presidents being jailed. Flash mobs have become popular in the Muck this year, and USD's biggest student philanthropy didn't miss the opportunity for free publicity. Last semester, Pi Kappa Alpha flash mobbed the Muck to promote their Thursday night live show, and USD Dance Marathon took notice. Yesterday, they surprised students in the Muck with a flash mob. Executive members and morale captains performed their morale dance, which everyone who participates will learn on the day of the event. Morale Chair Chris Prosh says this year's dance marathon has been trying at times, but overall it's inspirational for everyone involved. The 24-hour-long dance takes place March 24th and 25th. The International Film Series is hosting the film Even the Rain tonight. The Bolivian film story tells the story of a camera crew intending to make a movie about Bolivia's colonization. The crew soon finds out not much has changed. People are still enslaved and dying of hunger. The free showing of Even the Rain begins in Farber Hall at 8 o'clock.
Tryouts for the South Dakota Shakespeare Festival were held yesterday. The festival takes place June 8th through the 10th in Vermilion's Prentice Park. Organizers of the festival are seeking professional actors, musicians, and teaching artists. The festival will showcase performances in the amphitheater in Prentice Park and will have theater workshops for all ages. All festival events will be free and open to the public. The 25th Annual Stillwell Art Exhibition continues this month in the John A. Day Gallery. The display features the best of prints, paintings, ceramics, and sculptures created by students in the USD Art Department. Allison Erasmus says the exhibition is a big event for the students.
It's an opportunity for USD Art Department students who have been enrolled in the Art Department here at USD for the last year to submit pieces that they have made.
Each student submitted 5 pieces for the show. Jurors selected the best of those works based on creativity and type of design.
I had 2 that got in. One was a etching that were of tiny little bones in a grid. Another one was an installation that I did of objects inside wax with light coming out of it.
The Stillwell exhibition is on display through February. The Greek House's Alpha Phi and Sigma Alpha Epsilon hosted their first annual cardiac arrest jail and bail earlier today. The 2 organizations arrested all of the Greek House presidents, as well as other notable figures from around campus. To be released, donation jars were passed around the Muck. All proceeds from the jail and bail go towards supporting women's heart health awareness.
Coming up, live reporter Cassie Bartlett talks with Yote basketball player Alexis Yackley about defeating the Jackrabbits. Stay with us.
Today on Coyote Sports, both the men's and women's basketball team earned a big upset over in-state rival SDSU.
Track and field athletes broke records over the weekend, and commentator Taylor Moore has some advice for Coyote fans. But first, sports headlines. Lene?
Thanks, Diana. After it looked like golfing sensation Tiger Woods might make a comeback victory, it was Phil Mickelson who came out swinging on the final day of the Pebble Beach tournament. Mickelson fought from 6 strokes back and earned his 4th win at the event. He finished with an overall score of 17 under par. Woods was only one shot behind the leader after 6 holes Sunday, but struggled with his putting. Mickelson is the 9th player in PGA Tour history to earn 40 career wins. Chicago Bulls point guard Derrick Rose is seeking help from a back specialist. Rose didn't play Sunday against the Celtics and says back spasms have been bothering him since the start of the team's 9-game road trip. Rose says he's had back problems in high school, but it just recently started bothering him again. Another NFL player can't seem to make up his mind about retirement. No, it's not Brett Favre. After retiring August 1st, Randy Moss announced Monday that he wants to return to the NFL. Moss was drafted by the Vikings in 1998 and earned Offensive Rookie of the Year honors. He was traded to the Patriots in 2007. In 2010, he returned to the Vikings, only to be released and picked up by the Titans. Unfortunately, he recorded career low stats during the 2010 season. And those are your sports headlines.
2 USD track and field athletes set new records over the weekend at the Iowa State Classic. Senior Kenna Walter earned a second-place finish in the seated triple jump and set a new school record in the event for the second straight week. Sophomore Jeff Metler broke the school record in the men's 3,000 meters and finished 4th in the event. USD students continue to celebrate the big basketball wins over in-state rival SDSU. Live's Cassie Bartlett is at the muck with Alexis Yackley of the women's team to find out what the win means to the players.
After the men's team had their exciting win over SDSU last week, the women followed suit and had a thrilling overtime victory Monday night at the Dakota Dome. Alexis, how big of an impact did fans play in the game?
Oh, huge. You know, I think, what was the total, like 4,000 fans at our game, and you know, we went to the men's game a few nights earlier and there was like 5,000, so it was awesome for our fans and our community and USD.
How does that help the players' energy playing with all of that excitement?
I mean, it's huge. You know, you saw all the fans behind the, you know, both baskets. You know, the band's always great. Our courtside seats were all full, and all of our parents, you know, that sit behind the benches were shouting, and, you know, it's awesome. It's an awesome feeling.
You played some pretty impressive defense towards the end of the game, having a couple of steals that helped you guys get into overtime. What was going through your mind in those ending minutes?
Just that we needed the ball, and that was all that was going through my head. You know, I try to go out there and play the best defense I can, and, you know, I knocked the ball away and went after it and helped our team win, hopefully.
And you guys are currently on an 8-game winning streak. You only have 5 games left. How are you feeling heading into those?
You know, we're feeling confident. We also feel like, you know, we need to go get it done. You know, in conference play, you got to kind of have an amnesia, you know, whether you win or lose, because you're on to the next one, and we're on to IUPUI on Saturday, and hope to get 2 wins on the road.
Right. Well, thanks so much, Alexis. The men's team is in action tonight at IUPUI, and then, as you just heard, the women's are in action over the weekend. For Coyote News, I'm Cassie Bartlett.
Thanks, Cassie. On this week's More Sports, Taylor Moore wants to see the true Coyote crazies.
On both Thursday and Monday night, the Yote Nation did its job in making sure we were well represented at the USD versus SDSU games. Both the men and the women beat the Rabbits, and the Yote crowd served its 6-man purpose. The Dakota Dome hasn't been that alive since 2004. But in between the big games, NDSU showed up on Saturday. Despite the long-held rivalry between our two teams, the Dome was dead. Where were the fans? There were only a few Yotes that actually had spirit enough to cheer. So what's going on? What's the deal? Why do Yote fans seem to be so selective? Only when SDSU comes to town do we decide to come out and cheer? That's ridiculous. Except for 2 games a year, our docile fan base is on life support. Have you been to other D1 schools in our conference? At other schools, the students come to the games, stand up for their teams, and give their home team an advantage over anyone who walks onto their playing field. Yote fans only seem to come around when there's a chance to see a dead jackrabbit fly onto the court. It's time to switch things up. We went D1 for a reason. Now it's time for Yote fans to go D1 too. Instead of going home every weekend, stay in town, get your Yote on, and actually enjoy a big-time college atmosphere. Grandma's pie can wait. Most of all, be a true Yote fan. For more sports, I'm Taylor Moore.
Thanks, Taylor. And that's all for Coyote Sports. Coming up next, commentator Teresa Johnson shows how a single person celebrates the most romantic day of the year.
Yesterday was Valentine's Day, and romantics all around the world celebrated with their special someone. But what did the world's single girls do? Coyote News cameras follow commentary's Teresa Johnson to find some surprising and some not so surprising results.
No, too early. What day is it? Oh my gosh, it's Valentine's Day. I hate Valentine's Day. What to wear? Pink? Yeah, right. No way. Oh, perfect. Happy Black Valentine's Day to everyone. Ugh, what is this? What is this love crap music? Ugh, no thanks. Yuck. Okay, yeah, this is more like it. No love here. No love here in rock and roll. Yeah, we hate love. We're all free. Yeah. I think I need to watch Titanic later because in the end, the couple isn't together and they die. And that's what they deserve. I need chocolate. Chocolate? No, more chocolate. And more. Run away. Chocolate's not working. I'm still alone.
And like serenades me with a guitar and then like reads off a poem. And then he brings me chocolates and he tells me he loves me. This is gonna be perfect.
Life is hard for the single girl, especially on Valentine's Day.
In a nod to the year's most romantic holiday, this week on Out and About, we asked you what your worst Valentine's Day memory is.
Worst Valentine's Day, this kid from high school, he sent flowers to USD last year, and he randomly showed up in my friend's dorm room.
One time someone gave me some flowers and they died like the next day.
And was trying to make a move on me, and I was like, oh dear God, no.
A chocolate rose that the chocolate part was like rotten.
And I actually gave him back the flowers, and it was just really awkward.
The worst one was, I guess, when I actually had a boyfriend and he didn't get me anything. That was kind of disappointing, I guess.
My worst Valentine's Day ever, I went on my first double date ever with my best friend, and right afterwards, he drove home and got dumped in the middle of his driveway, and then called me and complained all night. Because he went on a double date with me, he got dumped.
Probably last year, my boyfriend just didn't do anything for Valentine's Day, because I told him not to, but he should have still done something anyways. So that's probably the worst Valentine's Day I've ever had.
A new issue of the Valon hit newsstands today. Pick up your issue to read about an increase in sobriety checks in Clay County, and the SGA is considering funding for USD Socialist. Those stories and more can be found on ValantOnline.com, and you can also check out the Coyote News link on the page.
That's all for your Coyote News. Don't forget to check us out on our YouTube channel, Coyote Campus News. Have a great night and a good weekend. We'll see you next time. That was